Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Christine, and this is my channel where I talk plants and books and hobbies and all the things that I love doing and creating and sharing with you. Today we are talking Hoyas. I have quite a bit of Hoyas in my collection, of which, vary from texture and size and even temperament. So yeah, I want to go through some of my Hoyas, some of the favorite ones in the collection, what my goal is with a lot of them, just some of the things that I've noticed about their growth habits. Let's get into it. So I think I'm going to start off with the Hoya that has given me the most amount of growth in a short span of time. And this one here is the Hoya parasitica heartleaf. So I have had this Hoya, I want to say it's been a good 3 years now. The first year that I had her, she sat just on my kitchen counter. I would say it was pretty low light. No direct light at all, no growth, no growing light, just, so no artificial light is what I mean to say. So it's just sitting on the counter. And it only had 3 leaves, I think, when I acquired her, and I got her just off Marketplace. I wasn't particularly big on Hoyas. I never really saw, the fascination with them. After watching a couple YouTubers growing their own collection, I thought, well, there's got to be a reason why, they're so fascinated with these plants. And then of course I saw some of the blooms, and I thought those are pretty, those are beautiful, and they're tiny little things, but such a big impact. And everyone's always so brought with joy when they see them bloom. So I thought, hey, let me try and see what one is like. So reached out to someone on Facebook who was selling little props, and she came home with 3 leaves. She's got this beautiful splash. At first I just had her in pond, so she sat in that pond for about 1.5 years and really didn't grow. I didn't see any new shoots from her, just the 3 leaves. And then I thought, okay, it's got to be light, so I put her under a grow light and didn't see much of a change in that either. I want to say she's been in this aeroid mix. So it is Molly's. I mixed in some more leca in it so that it's a little more loose, not so compact. And she started taking off. So she sits on my windowsill now in the kitchen, which is not the greatest for sunlight. I think the sunlight for that window is towards the afternoon. So later in the afternoon, right into the evening when the sun starts to set. So she has been getting a little bit more light. I wouldn't say it's been a substantial amount of light. She seems to prefer the aeroid mix. She's actually pretty dry. I need to water her. And she, like, all of this growth, I would say, was the last 6 months, which is hard to believe. So I've started wrapping her around this trellis, and she's just sprouted. Like, she's shot out all this new growth, and it's now trying to, where she sits, is trying to climb up my kitchen cupboards. So I think she needs a better pole here. I think she needs like just a better setup for her so she's not so coiled up. So that's what I want to do. I want to just put a second trellis in here and maybe give her a better way of growing, more support, and hopefully she flowers. I mean, I'm excited to see for when she does give me her first flowers. And then this beauty, she's one of my favorites. This is Hoya macrophylla. This Hoya has been continuously blooming for me in my IKEA cabinet, my Mills Botal cabinet. I think I've had her 1.5 years now. I think we're going into year 2 with her. She started off with just, I think there's three different cuttings that I put in here. So they were just 3 cuttings, and they maybe had, I don't know, I think this is one of the original here. She was repotted not very long ago. So she's in just an aeroid mix. The root system looks really good. And yeah, I bottom water feed her. I just, put the water over on the bottom. She sits in there and takes as much as she wants. And she's being blasted in the grow cabinet with lighting. She seems to love it. It's usually 80% humidity in there. And all of this, like, I started wrapping her around, like she's got like, I think 2 or 3 vines now in here. and what's left of her stems that she flowered. So she's been flowering all around. A little bit like sun stressed from the grow lights, so she's turning a little tinge of purple on the edges, which I think is really beautiful. I don't really want to prop her or take any clippings from her. I'm just happy with the way she's been growing. I have been debating if I want to take her out of the cabinet and just try ambient for her, just because I'm running out of room in my cabinet and she is on the larger side. She could probably use another trellis on here so she's not so wrapped up and bound, but I think she's just happy, you know, from the amount of flowering she's been giving me this year. I think she looks fairly happy. She's a little bit on the dry side right now, so I'm just going to water her before I put her back. I don't know if the camera's if you can even see the purple on the leaves here, but I really love how she looks with the pinky purpley color on there. This is my Hoya latifolia Snow Queen. Not sure what she's been doing. I want to say I've had her a year now, so I think I got these two at the same time actually. Maybe it was just three leaves, and she's grown 2 other leaves in my care. And I noticed that the leaves weren't getting bigger. Like this one was really big. This one was not bad. Maybe even the same size. And then this one just came through smaller. I put her on the trellis, but she hasn't really done anything. Her vining is kind of looking a little dry. I mean, there's some green in it, looking kind of dry. And then she's in Molly. She's in the Molly mix. Her roots look pretty good. They're now peeking out through the bottom, so she may need a repot. I just think she looks pretty good in the pot that she's in, but it's just the roots that are coming through on the bottom. So better management here of her vine. She also has these spots, which when I look at these spots, they look like they're maybe from thrips. I've never noticed any thrips on this Hoya, but she's got these weird black spots, so usually an indication of a thrip. I don't know if maybe that's maybe something it already came with, and maybe these little bit of beneficials actually took care of it and I didn't realize it. But this is why I do these treatments for prevention. I've never seen anything on any of the plants that I have in the cabinet, and she's been sitting in the cabinet pretty much the whole time I've had her, which goes to show like she hasn't had much growth even with all the light and all the humidity. So she may not even like the humidity, I don't know. But we're definitely going to try something different with her. So a repot, maybe bring her outside and ambient and see how she does. Maybe she doesn't want so much light. I've got this beauty here. So this is the Hoya compacta, and she was just repotted. I had 3 different little props that I bought from Hoya Plants online. They sent me this beauty, like really healthy, really starting to trail, which was nice. Really appreciated it. It was one of the plants that I had on my wish list for a while, and I somehow, you know, I had seen them pop up here and there at the big box store. I just kept hesitating to grab it even though I really wanted one, and I think it's because I always hear that these guys are sort of a nightmare to treat if they catch any pests, because they have so much folds and little crevices that you have to go in. Like I've seen other YouTubers treat mealies on these, and how much work and just a bit of a nuisance it is with all that texture and the crevices, which is exactly why I love this plant. I love that it's so textured and ropey, and I would love nothing more for her to start trailing with all the ends that she has here. And yeah, I bought this hanging planter from HomeSense Winners the other day. It was like 10 bucks, and I loved how it's got this like blue glazing, like marble glazing on pottery. And so yeah, she is currently just hanging on the kitchen window, so she's catching natural sunlight. This is my Hawaiian purple, Royal Hawaiian purple. So Royal Hawaiian purple, I have had this Hoya as long as I've had, so it's going to be 3 years that I've had this Hoya, and it really hasn't given me much growth. It's very slow. I bought this with just one tiny, it was one tiny little propagation that was given to me by the same marketplace contact for these other guys, and she gave it to me in a little vial. So the little vials that you would normally buy like fresh roses with, and it's on the bottom with her water. That's how I got her. So she was pretty tiny. She's been living in pond, so I don't know if maybe the pond is too dense, but she's got some decent, I don't know if it'll pick up, but she's got some decent roots, and she's been sitting in this decorative pot, this adorable elephant pot my nephew got me many years back now. I think it was a birthday gift actually. And this plant I love because it does sun stress when it's in extreme sunlight. She's actually just given me a new leaf here, which is really cute. So I think that's like new growth in the longest time that I've seen on this. She's sitting just here on my windowsill where I face when I'm working here at the desk. And yeah, she's just hanging out. She hasn't really done much growth. She hasn't vined. I mean, there's really nothing. I think it may just be starting. There's a little bit of growth peeking out from where this new leaf is. It's very slow, so I don't know. I do really like it. I love the leaves. The leaves are nice and dark. And then they've got these like speckles on them, which is really cute. This is one of the newer Hoyas that I got from the Home Depot. It just says tropical assortment, so it's still in the same pot. I paid $13 for this, but the amount of growth on this was a little crazy, and it actually looks very much like the purple Hawaiian, to be honest. Now that they're side by side, it's a royal purple Hawaiian, and by comparison, like the size of these leaves are pretty big, and it's got new growth since I brought her home. Like all of this on the top is new, which is really nice to see. So she's happy. She's sitting on the windowsill down here, and I face her when I'm here at work at the desk. So she is in mollies. So that is the difference. This one's in mollies, so it's an aeroid mix that I took her out of the soil that she arrived in, and the original one is in pond. So I'm wondering if maybe it prefers aeroid mix. It'd be interesting to compare the growth in both of these different substrates that I'm using for the plant. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye and see, and I may just switch her over to an aeroid, or maybe even a bigger pot and just put it in together. So both these plants are sitting on the same window, so they're getting the same amount of light. It's just they're in different substrates. So it'll be interesting to see how these two do side by side comparison now that I realize that they're the same plant. And I don't know how I didn't realize that before, but just looking at the leaves side by side, it's absolutely the same plant. So this is my Hoya Kerrii Splash. I adore this plant. I love the thick heart-shaped leaves on this. I want to say this one's 2 years that I've had in my care. It's sitting in mollies. It's got roots coming out on the end, so we're definitely I'm gonna have to repot her. Probably should have done that sooner, but this one here just hasn't shown any signs of growth. It's just been sitting here for the 2 years, kind of surviving. It's been in my grow cabinet in the IKEA Mills Bowl cabinet. So I had expected it to start some sort of growth like the other ones that have been in the cabinet, and it just doesn't seem to really care that it's in the cabinet. I don't know. I did just take her out. So I took her out of the cabinet. She's been just sitting over here next to me as I work away. So she's not getting blasted with the same amount of light that she would in the cabinet. She's getting light from the light that comes out of the cabinet. So just curious to see if there'll be any changes in her now that she's not in the cabinet, unless like she's got some sort of flat mite and I haven't been able to detect it. That's also another possibility, but I have put some beneficials on her just to make sure, and I don't know, we'll see where she ends up. But I absolutely love looking over and seeing her next to me when I'm working away during the day. I don't know, it's just like it's romantic. It's like this, I know it sounds cheesy, but I just love the heart shape. She's just a favorite for me. Got a soft spot for the shapes in my plants. Admittingly, like I just love how unique they all look. So this is my Hoya polyneura, or what's left of my Hoya polyneura. I had I want to say I had four of these different shoots in a pot, and they just dried out. The other ones dried out. This one was the only one that survived, and I'm not sure why. I don't think it was the watering. The other ones just, I don't know, they didn't make it. So this one's dry, needs more watering. I think most of the Hoyas need a good watering today, but I put her in, I put her back in mollies, so she's in the same substrate that she was before. Yeah, she's just by herself, and no new growth yet, so guess just wait and see. I do have a little propagation that I've had. I want to say I've had this for about a month now. Also in, looks like an aroid mix from the person that I bought her from. Just looking at the writing on the cup here that the person wrote, because it says very poly, but I don't think this is, it's not a variegated plant. I'm pretty sure I bought just a regular polyneura. Like, I'm looking at them side by side and they look the same. So it's definitely not a variegated one, but it's written on the cup, which is interesting. But I'm a little disappointed, because I really wanted, I see everybody, you know, other plant collectors who have beautiful trailing pots of these, and they're just gorgeous. I absolutely love the little fish tail. It reminds me of mermaids. It just didn't happen for me, so just have to be a little more patient with her, I guess. Fingers crossed, and hopefully she, you know, she starts giving me more growth. Hoya linaris. This is a newer Hoya that I tracked down, that I've been looking for everywhere. She's been really, surprisingly, she's been really hard to find. Even when I order plants online and they're shipped across the country for me or across the province, I haven't been able to find her. And this I bought through Crystal Star Nursery. So Crystal Star Nursery had 2 of them, and I said, okay, I'm going to order her because it's now or never. So she arrived, and I want to say she's only been in this little pot for maybe 2.5 weeks. She's a little bit on the dry side, so she definitely needs to be watered. But I really just love the way this trails. I think it's very like unique looking, the texture, and I've seen other big full pots out there, other collectors have, and they can grow really like thick and bushy with these little hanging like little, I don't know what you would call them, they're like tiny little pendants, and I love that. I love that they have this like playful, interesting texture to them. Bayabella Lewis Boy, Variegated. So this is a newer little prop that I bought or acquired, and I was again taken by the beauty of the variegation in these leaves. It's got this like dark green edging all around the leaf, and the variegation seems to be the center, so hence inner variegation. Tiny but like beautiful, glowy. Like I really love how striking this plant is, and I love how it looks against the pond. So it's growing in pond, but the color just stands out so much, like it pops with the pond, and it's got a little wick. So this is how I got her. She's just been glowing in the cabinet. She seems to be liking the humidity and the light. Same person that I bought the Hoya Bella, I got a Hoya publicalis, and the leaves are getting huge. I only had 1 leaf on the bottom, so I want to say like 2.5 weeks. She's starting to like really take off and grow. I don't know if that's normal. I've never actually seen a Hoya grow that quick, but I swear to you, like, this thing just looks taller and taller when she's sitting in the cabinet, and I can see her from here as I'm working away. Like, I peek over and I can see her growing taller and taller. So surprisingly, she's been very quick for such a, you know, small specimen of a Hoya that I have. She's gonna need some support. She's got a decent amount of roots, nothing crazy, but she'd probably do better with a bit more soil and some support. So I'll probably give her something to start hanging on to. was from a plant trade. So I had brought in some plants. The person had a Hoya, one of the only Hoyas that she had, and she wanted to trade for a couple of the plants that I had, and I said sure. I'm not sure what it is. It's this green with some minty, looks like a minty or silvery. Yeah, it's got like this splash on it. Some of the leaves are very silvery and the others are just bits of splash here and there. And she's starting to grow. Like the grow point here has just started to bud. So I think she'll need better support or one of these other trellises to climb. So I'm going to be changing that. Who else do I have? There's some back here that I can't see. I've got some small propagations. They're super tiny, so I don't know how much of the camera will be able to catch this, but I'm going to make sure to insert some clips of them. So this is a Hoya elbow elbow cominiana is what is written in here. It's really hard to make out, but it's a really tiny little prop and little tiny roundish leaves. It's a beautiful variegation, but it's super tiny. So I think this was just an extra that was thrown into a batch of these propagations that I had actually bought from the marketplace person, and they threw this in because I bought quite a bit from them, and so it was a nice little surprise. I don't actually think I had requested this because it's not something that I would normally gravitate or, you know, want to purchase for myself. I don't see myself requesting it. But it's a nice little surprise. I'm curious to see like how this grows, how big it can get. I mean, I haven't even looked into it, so I don't know. I don't know if they flower or what kind of flowers, which, you know, will be nice. I did get this Wilbur Graves, and it looks like it's an aeroid mix. So it's just got some leca on the bottom to prevent the cup from sinking into the water. So it's getting moisture from the water in the bottom, which is nice. Keeps it nice and moist, and the leaves are really beautiful. So there's some dark leaves with silvery splash, and then it looks like the newer growth is this mintier green with the same silver splash. To be honest, it almost looks the same as this big one, so I'm wondering if they're the same. So this may be a Wilbur Graves. Kind of cool though, because I mean, I can pot those together, and I've heard that they do flower very beautifully, so they've got beautiful flowers to look forward to. So who knows? We'll see how that goes. It's going to need quite a bit of growth for that. And now that I'm looking at this little prop, it's also a Hoya Wilbur Graves. So I've got quite a bit of Wilbur Graves. Didn't even realize that. But yes, they do look exactly the same. Yeah, it's definitely the same plant. So I've got 3 different propagations, 3 different little plant props of Hoya Wilbur Graves. So that's exciting. I can put them all together. So this one's in pon, and the other 2 are in aeroid. I haven't noticed any growth in this one, to be honest, with the pon, so I don't know if I want to keep it in the pon. I'll probably put them all in the same aeroid mix and do 1 pot, so that I have a nice big Hoya plant. And then this is my most recent, I believe this one I acquired last week. It's from Crystal Store Nursery, and it's a Hoya manipurensis. I was attracted to the leaves in this Hoya, you know, for some reason. Just looking at the shape of the leaves, it's like a really different shape. It's like they're like triangle. It's got this triangle leaf shape. No variegation, no splash. It is just green. But I believe the picture that they had on their website was the plant just hanging, like trailing down. I don't remember the one online, or the picture they had online had any trellis. Would appreciate this as a trailing plant, so hanging down as opposed to growing up like that. But I don't know if that's how it's meant to grow. If that's how people keep it, I don't know. I've actually never heard of this Hoya before. it's not one that I remember seeing anybody ever post about or talk about, Hoya manipurensis. So that is a nice little specimen that I have. I'm curious to see how it grows. It's just shot up some new growth on the top. It's sitting in my grow cabinet, so it seems to be doing really well with the light, but the substrate it came in, it looks like it's just in moss, sphagnum moss, and it's quite dry. So just spraying some water into this because it actually looks really bad. I mean, it's green, it's not drying out, but the fact that I've let it go this long, I didn't realize how dry it was, but it's got to be repotted for sure. So I'm most likely going to put this in an aeroid. I seem to do better with aeroid mixed with Hoyas than with the pond. The other possibility that I've thought of is maybe they need more frequent feed. I do fertilize the water that I do give these guys, but I don't do it frequently enough. Like, I think I'm doing it maybe once every couple of months, so maybe they need a more consistent amount of feed. And I'm just using Sea Farm. Yeah, I mean, I've been using this Sea Farm Sea Forest liquid kelp fertilizer, and I just add it to the water that I, go around watering them with. And I think that's it for Hoyas. I'm looking around, and yeah, I think we covered them all. 15 Hoyas? I'd say 15 Hoyas. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but it's a decent size. And I definitely have my favorite, so the macrophylla, the kerrii heart I really love, and the parasitica heartleaf has been a surprise for me, so I'm warming up to her. But I love my compacta over here, just smitten, and she hangs on my window, so anytime in the kitchen I'm doing, I'm cooking, I'm doing the dishes, I'm watching her, I've got my eye on her. I'm always like, is she okay? Is there anything that I need to worry about? Any unwanted guests in there? Water everybody, put some trellises along. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you've stuck around, thank you. I really appreciate you being here. Of course, consider subscribing, hitting the like button, sharing if you can, and we'll see you in the next one.